Okay, so the underlying energy here is the Eight of Swords. So there is a feeling of being stuck in your thoughts and feeling trapped in your situation, but it's mostly to do with the thoughts, right? Because sometimes there is some things that really actually aren't, blocking our way or blocking any sort of direction at all, but it's just the fact that we don't see those things due to what we have going on in our head. So underneath that, we have the King of Swords. So perhaps this is about our truth, or about someone that you're dealing with in Cancer, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius that you're dealing with. Someone that's very serious. It kind of can make you feel like this person may be one way or the highway, which they're very hard to communicate with, they're hard to compromise, and make this person potentially can honestly make it very difficult to work with. All right. Because this person doesn't compromise. The King of Swords doesn't really compromise on their truth. And I do get this feeling that this person is very stubborn. They don't have to be an air sign to be stubborn, or they don't have to be an air sign to be those qualities, someone that's hard to communicate with or someone that's hard to negotiate with. Now, the current situation, you have the Sun. So this is pretty good. The sun is very beautiful. It illuminates all. There's no shadows when the sun comes out. So there is clarity in your situation. These things are definitely showing to be very open and out there and very clear. All right. There's no confusion here. Now, what the desired outcome is showing out to be, though, is the Hermit. So perhaps there's a desire to kind of want to take a step back and look within. Take a moment to look within yourself to find what it is that you are looking for. Answer the questions that you're looking for. Perhaps to be more confident in yourself, to find the answers that you're looking for. The King of Swords could also be yourselves, guys. It could be that you guys want to feel more clear, or in the past you were more clear. You were absolute with your truth, and you had an idea of what your truth was for the relationship. And now it may be that you want to maybe you want to take a step back to look at it again, or to reevaluate it. But this energy with the Eight of Swords, it's like there's clarity here, but this is talking about being stuck in your head. So it's almost like the situation isn't clear because there's a lot of stuff that's going on mentally. There's a lot of logically hashing stuff out when you may just have to just trust yourself, right? Because this is what the Hermit is all about, confidence, and just go about doing whatever you want to do. The thing that's keeping you from the Hermit right now is the Page of Swords. So there could have been some communication that was given or received, which is pretty blunt, very tactless, but I do get this feeling that there was some sort of communication here that wasn't. There's some sort of communication here that was very brutal and very hard to receive. Okay, they could also be talking about your truth, right? They could just very well be talking about what is your truth in this situation. What is the truth of the matter? Maybe there is a truth that needs to be communicated or expressed or gained, or some sort of information here, because the Hermit does go within themselves to find questions to the answers to the questions they have about the situation. But I do get this feeling this probably has a lot to do with information, especially because the Three of Pentacles is coming up as the reason why the Page of Swords is the blockage. So there could be a situation in which there is about seeing a future with an individual. Maybe there is something that there's a truth here that, or there's a need for confidence here to communicate what it is that you're expecting out of a relationship, or if you do see a future with the relationship at all, or maybe you want to continue or move forward in a relationship, but it's just kind of it's a little bit of a daunting task, right? It's a little bit scary. Okay, and it does kind of it can be very scary, which can explain why confidence may be needed at this time. Now, the best path to follow right now is the Ten of Pentacles, which is talking about to commit. Just commit yourself, go 100% in. Ten of Pentacles is a really good card because it does talk about it does talk about legacy. It does talk about, like I said, commitment. It does talk about having solid ground and being very stable in one's self. Okay, one's goal. Being committed to something. And I feel like it's saying commit to what it is that you want to communicate. Commit to the future that you do see with this individual, and just kind of and look past what, look past the pains and the hurts and the doubts that came up, because believe it or not, the 8 swords that's with this person here, it's all behind them. You have a reason for being anxious and overthinking things, or perhaps feeling trapped, right? Because you're not sure of there even being an opportunity to make a move or to do something. But all of these things, the things that may have happened before you, well, they are over. They're in the past. They're behind you, and this shows that you have survived. You survived all that. So what's truly keeping you from being able to make the steps forward is truly yourself, because there's nothing in front of you. There's no obstacles ahead of you. Okay? So committing yourself is your best path to follow. Your emotions, however, are very intense. This is your card as well, Cancer. Well, this is actually a card for Pisces. The moon, you do rule the moon. The moon rules you, right? This is your ruling planet. And I do get this feeling that you may feel a little bit confused in your emotions and not really sure of what's going on emotionally for you. Like, I feel like the truth is you don't know what the heck you feel in the first place, which is, again, like, it's not truly a bad thing. That's why the hermit is necessary. Perhaps you may need to figure that out. But at the same time, I feel like you do know. I feel like at the same time you're confused about what you know. At the same time, it's very confusing, right? But the moon is very interesting. Your emotions are very intense here. So I feel like with the moon coming up in your feelings, it could just indicate that you feel a bit confused about the situation. But the sun is showing clarity. So the only thing that's clearly confused is how you feel. How you feel is the bit that's confusing, even though everything outside of this is very clear. It's very, it's very, in your face. It's very obvious. It's very, it's there. But your emotions are the only ones that are showing to be very confusing. You could be feeling very vulnerable in your emotions as well. Your hopes and fears, though, is the Six of Pentacles, rather. So you want to have not just clarity in your situation, but I feel like you also want to feel more balanced in your love life. You want to have a balance in your love life. Let me go ahead and actually clarify the moon in your feelings, guys. Why is the moon coming up in your feelings, despite the sun being in their current state of being? Ooh, are you guys scared? I think you guys are scared. The moon can be fears and stuff as well, guys. Just judgment. This is a change of reflect. That's a serious transformation. Okay? Judgment in the moon. It's almost like you're not sure of how to feel because you're not the same person that you were when you felt these feelings regarding this relationship. I feel like you've changed, you're transforming, and the scary part is walking in the new you. Being the new you, because Cancer's got a similar message for this as well, but this one more is kind of, it looks like it's a little bit more scary because you don't know the outcome of what could happen, right? I feel like you did have plans for the future, and maybe those plans don't resonate with how you feel anymore, but you don't know what does. So, but you don't know what does. It doesn't matter. I think the point of it is that you know what doesn't matter. You know what doesn't resonate with your emotions anymore. Perhaps. I feel like there needs to be some sort of balance, though. Some sort of a balance regained here. Perhaps within the relationship, there's something that needs to be balanced here. Because in your outcome, you have the Chariot. This is talking about balancing your head and your heart to gain momentum. This is your willpower. This is control. And I feel like there is going to be some sort of victory, some sort of change, or some sort of momentum in this relationship, which is great. But I feel like ultimately this is your card too, Cancer. So I feel like you want to feel more in control of where you're going. You want to feel more in control of where this relationship is headed, instead of just kind of leaving it, letting it kind of go somewhere without really any real direction, or not taking off. I feel like you have this Page of Swords is that maybe you don't really know what know what you want. Gaining information. It's very interesting here. Wow. Let's see. Why is the Page of Swords here? Why is the Page of Swords in their blockage energy? The Hermit. Yeah, it's not enough information. That's almost like you're saying it's just not enough information. You know, or yeah, look at that, the High Priestess. Perhaps it's just, you know what you, it's very interesting. Either for some of you guys, it's like it's not a lot of information regarding the future for you guys, or seeing some sort of future with an individual, because here you don't see the future at all with somebody. But in the past you were very certain. So now you're not sure, because you maybe have, there's something that's been exposed, so it sheds some light on something. So now you don't really know what your truth is. You don't really know how you feel about it. You don't really know what's going on and how you feel about something. But if this is truly a situation or relationship in which you want to still be in, then it's time to commit to it, or commit to yourself in finding what you need to find within yourself to make a decision about what it is that you want. Very interesting, guys. Very interesting. Alright, let's go ahead and see what's going on with you guys, Cancer. See what the Whispers of Love has to say through all this. Wow, the only thing that is real is love. Shift your focus from the problem back to love. Okay, that's pretty much you. Yeah, you have. If you love this individual, commit. The problem is something that is behind you, or you don't necessarily see, and it's it can be scary to be honest with yourself. It can be scary to be honest with anybody. But I don't think it has anything to do with being honest. I don't think you're lying about anything at all. It's just that the situation can be very confusing. What is exposing is is a very confusing situation. But how you feel about it is really where it comes down to. What do you love? Who do you love? And if you love who you love, can you commit to it? And if you can, commit to it. Okay, let's see what the Wisdom of the Oracle card comes up as. It's very interesting. Wow, the Higher Power is number 4 of the Wisdom of the Oracle. It's talking about the divine timing's got you. Your higher selves are watching over you at every moment, and you have to really trust in yourself and trust in the divine and who you believe has your back in the universe to help you get through this situation. Okay. Yeah, I just feel like this is just talking about, you know, just trusting in yourself. Yeah, you may have to take a step back to really look at how you feel, but don't overthink it. With the 8 of Swords coming up, be careful not to overthink things. Just focus on your feelings. Focus on how you feel. That will guide you to clarity. Because right now the moon is a very confusing energy, and the only way for you to truly get through it is by trusting your intuition and trusting oneself to get through. You're no longer the same individual here that received this sort of sun energy in this Page of Swords energy. The clarity is out there. It's very clear what's happening. But it's just the emotion aspect of it is is not certain. And it's okay to not be certain right now. You just have to trust yourself and trust that you'll figure it out. Trust that you'll know it when it comes. Because the higher power has your back. Higher power is with you at every moment, every step.